Now, as you guys know, sometimes we dive into the TV world or movies here on the channel, and it has to be something really good for me to want to talk about TV. And it's usually games being adapted into TV series. And you guys already know that we have a history talking about The Last of Us, talking about The Last of Us TV series and how I thought the casting wasn't very good. I thought the writing and the direction of the story doesn't hold a candle to what happened in the games. And I think that it was character assassination for Ellie. You guys know that my videos are there. You can go and check them out. Now, another adaptation that's coming now is the God of War adaptation from Amazon. Now, God of War is one of those series that I also love tremendously. It is in my top 5 all-time gaming franchises. We've even covered the lore of God of War from the very first game all the way to the newest game, and it's a 7-hour video. And I love Kratos tremendously. Kratos is one of my all-time favorite characters in gaming history. His story from the very beginning all the way to his redemption or rebirth in God of War Ragnarok was amazing to see for a character that so many people years ago felt had no character development, has just a angry character. So to see his growth has been fantastic, and the job from T.C. Carson and Christopher Judge are perfect for the time that they were made. And so when this was greenlit as a live action TV show, I had massive concerns, I would say, maybe, or feelings of uneasiness. Like I wasn't sure if I liked this. Now, you could create a God of War universe that shows these gods and these monsters and these creatures, and you already got some casting being leaked, some casting being announced of people in talks to play these characters. Now you have Max Parker in talks to play Baldur and Olafur Dari Olafsson in talks to play Thor. Now they look like they could play those characters very well. Max in particular does look a lot like Baldur, and I think he could play a good Baldur. I think Olafur could probably play a good Thor. Now, the Amazon series is going to be adapting the Norse era only. It's going to star Kratos and Atreus, and it's going to have 10 episodes for season 1, and season 2 has already been greenlit. Now, some people are talking about, well, how are we going to tell the story without talking about the Greek events? And I think that the Greek events are going to come in bits like flashbacks or an episode here and there that dedicates itself specifically only to the Greek events or stuff like that. I think that's how they're going to do it. It's going to be a lot of back and forth, and Kratos is going to be probably dealing with a lot of the decisions he made in the past. Now, I'm talking a lot here, and I'm not getting to the fucking problem. The fucking problem that I have with this series is who's going to play Kratos. I cannot picture any human on this planet playing Kratos. I cannot. I'm trying as hard as I can. When they announced this series, I started thinking, who the hell is going to play Kratos? Who can play him? Now, obviously, for years, there's been fan casts about, well, just get Triple H from WWE. Okay, first of all, no, Triple H would not take that role. Triple H is a lot older now. He had that long beard, bald head. Okay, but he's also like 6 foot, I believe. And Kratos, dude, I don't know. Kratos is a big ass person, like a big ass dude. All right, Kratos is like, I don't know, like 6'6", probably 6'7", like big as hell. He's muscular, he's lean, and he has this just meanness to him, right? Now, other people for a long time, and even to this day, have said, well, just get Christopher Judge to play Kratos, the actor who portrays him in the Norse video game series. Now, Christopher Judge would have been a great person to play Kratos, but he himself said that he wouldn't be able to do Kratos now due to his age and due to his back problems, because he had a massive back surgery. So he himself has said that he couldn't do a live action Kratos now, and he's 61 years old now. So even if we petitioned and wanted that, I just don't even think that Amazon would want to do that, because although Christopher Judge is a fantastic actor, he's a fantastic actor with God of War, and he does an amazing job playing Kratos, I don't think Amazon would want to get him, because I think Amazon would want to get a different actor, someone that's maybe a little bit even more known. But the biggest thing is that no matter who you find, I just don't see anyone being able to play this demigod. Kratos is a Spartan, half god, son of Zeus, without it looking honestly like weird, cheap. I've always envisioned Kratos the way that I've seen him, and it's maybe because I've played God of War since I was a kid, since I was like 8 years old, 7 years old, 9 years old. I've been playing God of War 1, God of War 2, God of War 3, then, God of War Ragnarok, God of War 2018. I've played God of War all my life, and I've watched videos on Kratos. I've seen the actors talk about Kratos. I've done the story explains. I've spent so much time in the world of God of War. I've spent so much time looking at Kratos the way that he is that I find it really hard to see anyone play Kratos. And then I remember the Super Bowl commercial where there was a live action Kratos when they were promoting God of War Ascensions. And there was a character there who was painted in white, and he was basically playing a live action Kratos reaching for his daughter. I thought, everybody loves that trailer, and I'm not even being a dick or anything, but I thought that was really bad. I thought it was a guy cosplaying as Kratos. I thought it was a guy who just put on some ash on his body and then pretended to be Kratos, and he screamed and everything. I just don't buy it. I don't buy that anybody can play Kratos. And that's my personal gripe. That's my personal biggest problem with this Amazon series. I don't see it, man. I can't envision anybody playing this character. And that's hard. That's hard. I just feel like it's gonna look fake. I feel like it's not gonna look serious. I feel like it's not gonna have that weight. You know, when we look at the cutscenes for God of War Ragnarok or God of War 2018, we feel Kratos, his presence, how big he is, how imposing he is. He looks otherworldly. He looks like something fake, something that isn't real, something that we can never see in real life. Now, some people might point to some bodybuilders or some strongmen that are like 6'7" and big as fuck. Yes, but they still don't have that thing for Kratos, you know? And you're not gonna get a bodybuilder or a strongman to come in and play Kratos. So who are you gonna play? Who's gonna play Kratos? There's been no leaks. There's been no talk about who's gonna get cast as Kratos. None. How big does he have to be? Is he gonna be 6'3", 6'4", and then big as hell and then get really lean? Is he gonna be? He has to be bald headed. He has to have a nice long beard. I don't know. Do you guys see my point here? Like, I can see somebody playing Joel. I can see somebody playing Aloy from Horizon. I can even see somebody playing Geralt from The Witcher. I can see these characters being played by somebody, okay? Because I can see it. They're human enough that I can tell that it's them. But you see Kratos in God of War 3 and you're like, holy shit. You see Kratos in 2018 and Ragnarok and you're like, holy shit. I'm just having a hard time seeing anybody play Kratos, have that ash on them, him wearing the outfits that he's wearing, being as big as he is, and not looking fucking ridiculous in the Amazon series. Now, I could be extremely wrong, and they know what they're doing, and it's gonna be fantastic, and Kratos is gonna look so mean and so cool, and he's gonna portray Kratos to a T, all right? I just find it really hard to picture anybody on this planet being Kratos in live action and not making it look ridiculous. And I hope you guys see what I mean. Like, it's really hard for me to picture that, and since they announced this, I have thought that. I have been like, man, I don't know if that's gonna work. I don't know, and I've been very, like, just iffy about the whole fucking thing. So I hope they prove me wrong, because I want to see a fantastic Kratos adaptation. I love this character. I love this series. But holy shit, I'd be lying to you if I told you that I wasn't scared or had a big problem picturing anyone playing Kratos.